thought you escaped after part 1? No. What you saw before was only the shallow surface of the mind's dark ocean. In part 2, we're going deeper into psychological traps so hidden they quietly shape your identity, your choices, even the people you love. These aren't just tricks. They are invisible chains designed to keep you controlled. And if you think you're immune, you're already caught in their web. 1. The mirror trick. Illusion of validation. You wake up, check your phone, post something online. Within seconds, the likes come in. It feels like acceptance. It feels like love. But here's the truth. Every like is just a chemical hit, dopamine injected into your brain. You're not building confidence. You're renting it from strangers. And the more you chase this validation, the weaker your own self-worth becomes. It's not just a trap. It's a prison where the bars are made of hearts and comments. 2. The scarcity trap. Scarcity is one of the oldest tricks in human psychology. When something feels rare, your brain assigns it extreme value. That's why you panic when a website says, "Only 2 left in stock." But it's not just products. Scarcity controls your relationships. You stay with toxic people because you think, "What if I never find anyone else?" You hold on to dead-end jobs because you're told opportunities are rare. The scarcity trap doesn't just drain your wallet, it locks your future in fear. The illusion of memory. Your past is a story your brain tells you, but it isn't the truth. Studies show your memories are distorted every single time you recall them. Small details shift, events blend together, and soon, your truth is just a lie you've told yourself 1,000 times. Imagine your identity, your decisions, your fears, all built on memories that may never have happened the way you believe. What does that mean? It means the person you think you are might not even exist. 4. The halo effect. You see someone attractive, successful, or powerful. Instantly, your brain lights up. They must also be kind, trustworthy, and honest. But that's the halo effect. You take one trait and paint their entire identity with it. And because of this, you fall for liars, manipulators, and predators. You forgive their sins because you're blinded by their glow. The halo isn't real. It's just the brain's lazy shortcut. And shortcuts in psychology always lead to danger. 5. The authority illusion. You're in a room. A man in a lab coat gives you instructions. Without question, you obey. Why? Because your brain is wired to submit to authority. Uniforms, titles, wealth. These symbols of power shut down your critical thinking. But history shows us, people have committed the darkest crimes simply because an authority told them to. Blind obedience isn't respect, it's surrender. And every time you obey without thought, you give away a piece of your freedom. The bandwagon effect. You join trends not because you like them, but because you're afraid of standing alone. You follow opinions, even if they're wrong, because your brain hates being the outsider. This is the bandwagon effect. The reason entire societies accept lies. The reason toxic ideas spread. And the reason your individuality gets buried. When everyone is marching, silence feels dangerous. But remember this, just because the crowd is running doesn't mean they're running in the right direction. The anchoring trap. You hear a number, $100. Suddenly, every price you see after feels cheap or expensive based on that anchor. The anchor doesn't even have to be real. It could be random, but your brain still uses it as the measuring stick. Anchoring controls your spending, your negotiations, even your self-worth. The first impression is always the anchor, and breaking free from it requires painful awareness most people never achieve. 8. The framing effect. A glass of water is both half full and half empty. The truth hasn't changed, but the frame has. Politicians, marketers, and manipulators use framing to trick your emotions. You're not reacting to reality, you're reacting to the frame. And if they control the frame, they control your choices. This is how entire nations are manipulated, not by lies, but by carefully crafted frames. The reciprocity trap. A small gift, a favor, a smile. Suddenly you feel pressure to return it. This is reciprocity, a powerful human instinct. But manipulators weaponize it. They give fake kindness so they can trap you in invisible debt. You think you're being polite when you give back, but in reality, you're repaying chains they put on you from the start. 10. The fear trigger. Fear is the oldest trick in the book. It shuts down logic and hijacks your brain in an instant. Fear makes you buy things you don't need, obey rules without questioning, and surrender freedoms you should protect. Politicians, marketers, and media don't sell products or policies. They sell fear. Because once fear controls your decisions, you are no longer the driver of your life. You are the passenger, trapped in someone else's vehicle. These hidden games aren't just tricks. They're the architecture of control. In Part 1, you saw the surface. In Part 2, you entered the shadows. But in Part 3, you'll uncover the subconscious codes that design your entire reality. Once you see them, you'll never unsee them. And remember, this is Toxic Psychology, the channel where the darkest truths of the mind are exposed. Subscribe now, because the next video is the one they don't want you to watch.